Hey everybody, I am back from home time and back on the road. Stay tuned, I'll let you know where. Hey everybody, today is the 30th of January 2021. This is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog. I'm in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. Actually, the turnoff off of I-40, so I'm actually just a little bit north of Lake Havasu City, but the exit is exit 9 here on Interstate 40, just east of the Arizona-California state line, the border there. So, back from home time. Started running this morning. Picked up a load in Albuquerque, where I was lucky enough to spend my home time, and I'm running it to Stockton, California. So it's due by no later than the end of the day on Monday, but we're going to deliver it tomorrow because we can deliver it tomorrow, and that'll finish out a good month for us, even though we took 8 days off. So. That said, if you think about it, we're going to take 8 days off, and we're still going to do almost 10,000 miles for the month. So that's running pretty good. So I just want to talk a little bit about home time with Crete, and before I get into that, I just wanted to share. I ran into a guy that's driving for Stevens right now. Been driving there for about 4 months. Didn't get a chance to catch his name. I'm sorry about that, but you know who you are if you're watching this. It was great to meet you. In fact, we were both walking in the Loves here, and he said, "Hey, you're the guy from YouTube," and I was like, "Hey, that's great. I'm glad that you watch my videos, and I appreciate that." But anyway, he's just getting started, and he is running Alliance, so it'll be interesting to see how that goes, and I wish him the best of luck. So anyway, we got a chance to spend 8 days off now. Rarely do you get a chance to do that as a company driver, as far as I know, around this profession. Now I know that would have been unheard of for Stevens. In fact, if you try to take 8 days off for Stevens, chances are they're going to send somebody out to come get your truck. That's not the way here with Crete. So I mentioned it, I think, in one of the last videos, but I just wanted to go through it just so you know. Different companies have different rules for home time, and home time's really important. It's one of the things that most drivers look at, one of the high things on their list when they're looking at companies. And Stevens wasn't bad about it. Stevens got me at home time when I wanted to be at home time and where I wanted to be for home time. So I have to give kudos to my driver managers for that. But the thing is that for every week, every 7 days you're out, so every calendar week you're out, you got 1 day of home time with Stevens, up to 5 days. So if you stayed out 6 weeks, you were only going to get 5 days. If you stayed out three weeks, you got 3 days. 5 weeks, 5 days. But like I said, 6, 7, 8 weeks, 9 weeks, you got 5 days. And for a lot of people, especially with the pandemic going on and everything, they stayed out a lot longer than 5 weeks. I mean, I stayed out, I think, 12 weeks, almost 3 months, because there was so much freight that we wanted to run, and that's how we wanted to contribute to things. Plus, to be honest with you, when this was first starting and everything, we didn't know how it was going to affect people. We didn't want to, I didn't want to be around people that, at home that might be susceptible to it, just in case I had contracted it, because we didn't know, and all that kind of stuff. So we stayed out for about 3 months straight, and like I said, once I took my time off, I got 5 days. So that's not that great. Now with the Crete here, for every 6 days out, you get 1 day of home time. Okay, and you can get as many days of home time. You can stay out as long as you want. You get as many days of home time. But when you take your home time, you have to take all of it, or you lose it. So that's the one thing. So when I get ready to go visit my buddy Mike in Hawaii, I'm going to make sure and stay out for the better part of 3 months, and get about 10 to 12 days off, and really enjoy it. Enjoy my visit out there. So and I'll be able to park my truck. I'll park it probably at the terminal in Phoenix or something like that, and go on my trip and come back, and my truck and everything is going to be there waiting for me. So that's great. So anyway, just wanted to share that part about home time for you. We're in the second week or we're getting ready to start, the second month of this quarter. And this is something a little bit different for me than with Stevens, is looking at quarters. Okay, and what do I mean by quarters? Of course, every year has 4 quarters, and it's 3 months, and we do January, February, March. That's one first quarter, and of course April, May, June is second quarter, July, August, September, third quarter, and October, November, December is going to be fourth quarter. But why it's important here with Crete, where it wasn't so much important with Stevens, is that Crete offers quarterly bonuses, and they're based on safety, but also based on your performance, which means there's a minimum amount of miles you need to run. I believe it's 30,000 miles in a quarter that you need to run in order to be eligible for the bonus. And you have to maintain a certain safety record. You have to have less than 12 safety points, and you have to have not had major incidents during that quarter. And those can include speeding tickets, accidents, various different things like that. So if you can meet those criteria, which most people do, you're eligible for a bonus of 4 cents per mile times the amount of miles that you ran that quarter. So let's just say you run the minimum 30,000 miles, and you get, in this case it's 4 cents. Usually I think it's 3 cents, but this first quarter is going to be 4 cents a mile. Let's say you run the 30,000 miles times 4 cents per mile. If you want to do the math, that's going to end up being about $1,200. That's a pretty decent bonus for a quarter. So that's why quarters matter, and I'm really tracking my miles. I walked into right about 9,000 miles when I went on my break, and that's why I want to deliver this tomorrow, because I want to finish. If I deliver it tomorrow, I'll finish the month with 10,000. You don't have to have 10,000 every month, but you have to have 30,000 in that quarter. So that's important. Now, there's one other issue. There's one other thing to look at with Crete as far as miles, is that you have to have, I believe it's 112,000 miles for the year to be eligible for your a pay increase at the end of the year. So that's about, I think it's somewhere around 9,300 miles a month. So you got to at least get that. But if you only get the 9,300 miles a month, you're not going to quite make it to be eligible for the bonus. So again, if you like to drive though, and you're working here for Crete, getting those miles shouldn't be a problem. When I asked to see where my miles were, they gave me 2 numbers. Right before the break, they gave me the number that I ran from January 1st to January 22nd, which was my first day of my home time, which was right about 9,000 miles. And then they also said, okay, but let's look at the last 30 days. So they gave me from back to December 22nd to January 22nd, and that was almost 14,000 miles. So running isn't a problem with these guys if you're willing to do it. So that's what we're gonna do. But we're gonna try to make our bonus. We're gonna try to make it a good one. Put that money towards our trip. So anyway, I hope you guys are having a good one. I'm dealing with an issue with my CB radio. I'm having an issue. I think I'm having a ground issue with my radio. So I'm got to work and try to get that fixed. Didn't run into too bad of weather coming from New Mexico out here to the western part of Arizona, going through Flagstaff. I was a little concerned that the roads would be pretty bad, and there were some slick spots. In fact, just a little bit west of Flagstaff, right there near Belmont. There was a tractor trailer that went headfirst into a snowbank, and so he lost control trying to make it turn. And like I said, it didn't look like he butchered his truck, but he was, like I said, he was headfirst in that snowbank. And then there was another vehicle a little farther down the road that had lost control and was in the median. And then a little bit farther down, saw a vehicle that was on its side, but it had been there for at least a little while. So, got to be careful. You don't know what the roads are like. You just don't. I mean, they can look like they're fine, but there can be that little sheet of ice on top that makes them slick. So you got to just slow it down and take your time. That's all you need to do. So anyway, I appreciate the comments that I've been getting. I appreciate the questions I've been getting. Real quick, just to answer a question that one of my new subscribers asked me. They wanted to know a little bit about my preference in trucks. Well, I've driven 3 models of trucks since I've been driving. Peterbilt I drove when with Mark when I was on his truck. I've driven a KW, which was Emily Rose, and then now I'm driving this Freightliner Cascadia with Opal Ann, and each different for different reasons. I like the Peterbilt, was nice, but the sound, it's strange. Sometimes the sounds were a little weird with that. I don't know how to describe it, but it was a little weird. A lot of room inside, except a little bit longer wheelbase, so not as maneuverable as the KW was, and with Emily Rose, not as much storage inside, but really nice ride, really comfortable ride. And here with Opal Ann, I know sometimes people call Freightliners freight shakers, but I put it that it's more the roads than it's the vehicle, because the roads around this country are not that great. But plenty of storage room. In fact, I'll do a tour here pretty soon and sort of show you. But there's tons of storage, plenty of room to move around and everything, and pretty comfortable ride. I like how everything's sort of set up in here. So I'm liking my Freightliner right now. If I had to choose for looks, I'd probably go with the KW. If I had to choose for practicality and everything else, I'd stick with this Freightliner right now. Now, I haven't driven an International or a Mack truck or a Western Star or a Volvo, but for what I've driven, the three models, probably I'd stay with the Freightliner for right now. Anyway, hope you guys have a safe one. Finish up this month good, and head into February and see how it goes from there. The country's starting to open up. I think it's a little suspicious that all of a sudden, we get a new president, and it's a little political, but it just seems really strange that as soon as we get a new president, now all these places that were just locked tighter are starting to open up. That's just a little strange to me, I think. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes around the country and go from there. So you guys stay safe. Wear your mask when you need to, and take care of yourself. And we'll see you on the road. This is Rick, also known as Duke City Devil Dog. I am just north of Lake Havasu City, Arizona, and I'm driving for Crete Carrier Corporation. I'm psyched. You guys have a good one. I will talk to you later.